Good afternoon. Today is April 1st. Hi. You can mute yourself if you have some. Okay, I hear you now, Janet. I hear your son, actually, not you. Okay. So it works. Welcome to April 1st recording of ADIT 695. Today we have Veronica, Gina, and Janet, and maybe a couple of more who told me that they're joining to catch up on Wednesday night. And if you have questions, please put it in the chat window so I'll have a chance to respond to them. And then it will be part of the recording. If you also have a sound out, I would like to hear your questions in person or your accomplishments that you would like to share. So floor is yours. Maybe I'll try to hear from you first. Veronica, would you like to go first? Do you have a sound? No? We can't hear you, right? So, all right. We haven't had a chance to meet Veronica. She got way too busy with so many erroneous work in her school. So she'll be hopefully joining from now on. Don't make faces. I know it happens, right? She wrote me an email saying, I know I get so mad if my students do what I do. So I'm not asking forgiveness, but I just feel like I needed to tell you. So I hear you, and don't worry. Again, if you could go back to the Zoom recordings and watch and respond, and I'll put it in a journal form, I'll be happy to update your attendance points. So it's not the end of the world, but hopefully at least you make yourself available to present at the end, because it's very critical to be able to share your 50 hour of experience and your portfolio. So hopefully you'll have that time carved for this course. All right, thank you. Sorry we can't hear, but please stay in touch through email at least to let me know how I can be helpful. All right, Gina, do you want to go next? She's on the road looking for a
okay, so
house. Okay.
So my phone was lagging a bit when I heard. Are we just doing questions or questions and accomplishments, or
either or?
Oh,
and or.
Okay. I do have a question. I know it's down the road a little bit. Okay. I know it's a little bit away, but when we do our presentation of our portfolio, are we like speaking of highlights of particular? Are we going through like the whole portfolio via the Zoom, or okay?
Yeah. And there are different ways people did. Like you can put a Prezi and touch upon a few things, because you don't have the whole time. You have maximum 10 minutes, right? What would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you will say, I spend my 50 hours, I've done X, Y, and Z, but Z was the most exciting. Here are some, evidences, here are some stories, here are some experiences I had. So you can pick and choose. I really would like to hear your practicum as well as your portfolio. But there are some cases they are both, right? Because your visionary leadership is maybe...
Okay, so I didn't know if we were... Okay.
Now go ahead.
They overlap.
Sorry, your sound is choppy right now. If you can type, I can read out loud your question. Or you can turn off your picture. I mean the video. Maybe it will be better.
Lagging with the signal. Sorry.
Maybe you stop video and just have the audio. Okay, let me. Okay, so while we're waiting for you to get a connection, let's say hello to Janet. Hi, Janet. Want to unmute yourself?
Okay.
Oh, here she is. Okay, Janet.
Oh, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have no questions right now because I've just emailed you last Friday, and those were my questions. And I'm still working on my practicum and seminars, and that's it for now.
Okay, so you're on good track. You have no particular. Okay, very good to hear. And thank you for joining this session. I appreciate it. All right, Gina, one more chance. Okay, I think she's out because if she's on the road, there might be some dead spots that she might be catching us later. So let me see if we can quickly go back to Blackboard and take a look at where things are. So I will get you acquainted. So let me share the screen. All right. This is what we did on, so under announcement, I put a link up for needs analysis section. So here's an article that you might be interested in reading, and here's the PowerPoint slides that I posted. So the article is basically talking about what is needs analysis and what are the steps and what are the techniques and methods. And in the PowerPoint slides that I try to analyze and give some suggested, some suggested pointers. Right, it's showing on the other window. Hold on. All right. I try to differentiate between need and want, because in most districts, there is a confusion. Most of the time people think, oh, we want this latest technology, but do you really need it is the question. Again, it needs to be driven by the target audience. It needs to be driven by the cost effectiveness or long-term use. You don't want to just buy something and then it'll be dusted on the shelf. Let me give you an example. Several years ago, I was doing a volunteer work in Rosa Parks High School in Paterson, New Jersey. And I was so excited to bring these new technologies into a young crowd. And I first asked them, do you have this technology? The person who's at the media center kept telling me, no, we don't have anything. We don't. The doors were locked for the computer lab because the person who has the key went to lunch and so on. And later on, the more I asked, the more they opened more shelves. And I saw Dreamweaver. At that time, Dreamweaver was a high-end web-based design software. Even the university didn't have the full subscription. And the school district had that from the state. And nobody even opened the sleeves, like those clear things that's covering the packaging. It wasn't even open. So it showed me how most of the time the schools say, oh, we need new technologies, new software. It goes to the schools, but it's never being used because someone has to open the sleeve, someone has to install it, someone has to test it. So again, you need to check what you need and what you want. And how do we do that? Again, these slides I try to go through. I don't want to, bore you with the details, but this is an example of how you do the needs analysis prior, during, and after, for instance, a language program. This is an example. And how you can create questionnaires, not just for the students, but also for the staff. And how you can do big scale analysis as opposed to small scale. How your target audience is not just teachers, right? The policymakers, the Minister of Education people, teachers, academics, employers, in some cases even custodians or the technology district leaders, right? There's so many ways in which you will find and sample your data. As the future leaders in selecting, sorting, analyzing, presenting, as well as using new technologies, you need to know who will administer, who will collect this data, and how this data is being presented. So let's start with the procedures of conducting needs analysis. Are you going to create questions that's like a questionnaire, or are you going to do an interview, or you're going to bring the faculty during lunch, give them some pizza, and talk about, it's called a group, focus group discussion. Are you going to just record that and get some data out of this? So there's so many ways in which you can do needs analysis. You can even do needs analysis, to tell you the truth. That's one of the things I had done when I was a media director. I went to lunch, not to eat lunch, but meet the faculty, because that school had lunch. It's open to students and faculty. And I was just showing new software, new resources, as well as trying to find out what they need, because teachers don't have time to come and meet you all the time. So I was doing a lot of observational needs analysis, right? Oh, one quick question. Do you guys know the difference between open questions and closed questions? Like, open questions are, right? Gina, you have an answer?
Yes.
All right. So, for instance, you can create an inventory in grading scale. So closed questions, you want to know if it is yes or no, true or false, right? But when you ask open-ended questions like, what do you think, how many, and asking those when, where, and how type of questions, those are open questions. All right. So I try to go through advantages of self-rating, interviews, meetings. Of course, the best thing is one-on-one and long hour interviews and meetings. That's not the luxury we have. Usually we have to be a skillful observer on a hallway, like trying to find out what the needs are. But again, that may not be as a good sampling. Here are some other ways in which you can analyze data. Okay, so you also need to do needs analysis, maybe doing a literature survey, and also wider range survey questionnaires, even finding out from conferences that you attend, right? You can find what overall people need. So you should be able to follow up these dialogues. Once you get these questionnaires or surveys or Google Forms, whatever you do, make sure this is also need to be documented and presented. How are you going to present? So this is one of the, let's see, the idea. The next one, you can write a full document. Nobody will read except somebody has to put it in their shelf. Or you can make a short document or some kind of an infographic that you can share it on the school walls. So it's a quick newsletter or an email reporting your findings, because you need to find all the stakeholders on the board with you, right? Especially the purchasing new software is involved, or some spending a new way of presenting information, like smart boards, right? How are you going to do it? So let me quickly share with you infographics. If you've never done an infographic, I really would like you to, infographic is a visual image, such as charts and diagrams used to represent data. So once you have information, look at these, some of the examples of data, how it's being presented. And if you Google it, there are so many great templates to create infographics. You can integrate a lot of visuals that and make the information very simple and easy for people to understand. It's better than writing big reports that stays in the superintendent's office for years. This way you can communicate with every stakeholder in a different way, right? And again, as I told you, there are so many quick tips about how to creating infographics. And this is a skill, by the way. You can even get a job just knowing how to create the best infographic. Again, we're not in the communication sciences we're not. Go ahead, Gina.
I was going to say that I know my school paid a lot of money for someone to generate an infographic about personalized learning. And then a couple of teachers, we had our students use like PictoChart or something and made a better, clearer one. And I can't believe like with how big it is that you can make so much money as a consultant putting one of these images together. But and students were actually able to come up with better ones that were more, that were clearer and had more direct information. It's amazing the industry that grew from pictures. So that's all I wanted to say. Our district paid a lot of money for someone to generate one for us, and it's something that the coaches could do on their own.
Yep. And again, as the district technology leaders, future leaders, please don't be lured into this is a hard thing. Look, I need to know this technology. There are so many software that actually maybe I'll put together some kind of a list for you. There's so many easy to use software that creates such findings. Look at this. 1 out of 3 children in America are overweight or obese. Seeing this with this kind of data, right? It's really striking. And again, this is based on either your needs analysis or working with the students. They collect the data and they put together some information and visualize. Like this is a nice one, 33 ways to visualize ideas. Again, you will be not only, how can I say, put yourself out there saying, look, I created this and this is not difficult to create. I think the teachers might use this as a representation of information ideas. These are as good as any kind of PowerPoint. Excuse me. It could be even put into a Prezi, right? You can make a Prezi out of one of these quick infographic, starting from one to another and circle it around. So there are many, many good ways to represent your data and present your ideas. Again, that's how I wanted to share with you the importance of needs analysis. And if you can put these needs analysis part of your case study, like instead of interviewing many people, but pick one person, right? One person. It could be the hardest technology embracing teacher in the school district, right? Someone that's always say no, or someone always question, why do I have to learn this? Go interview that person, right? And then maybe turn into an infographic. That could be, to me, is your case study. I can definitely give you point for that instead of writing 2-page boring information. Oh, I talked to this person, that person said this, but maybe you can turn it around and say, look, this is what you find from the overall talk with this professor or naysayer or a student or a custodian who has different points of view that needs to be shared. So that was all I had to say. And now I'll be more than happy to share with you a few other things that I am planning to do. And you're the first to hear. Last night, before I think jump into the next thing, do you guys have any questions? And if your voice cannot be heard and you would like to call me, you know my cell number, right? You can always call me throughout the presentation now, or you can call me after. So it's my cell number, just to make sure you have it. All right, Gina, aren't you going to a house to look yet? You're stuck in the hot car. No, she's frozen. Okay. Janet, you're the only one I can hear clearly, so maybe you can say something. I feel lonely in this room. People watching me, but they can't say anything.
Yeah, I like the presentation. And I learned something from the presentation. Yeah.
So will you be interested in doing an infographic for me in lieu?
Yes, I am. I actually used infographic when I was studying assessment and evaluation. Yes, I did one before.
Oh,
Yes, and I think I'm gonna use it when I present, in the presentation.
Yeah, and then you can put the whole infographic into your Prezi, and then you can just present it in a orderly way as well. So it's a good tool to not only learn how to create, but also teach how to create this to teachers, right? Because every time I'm learning new thing, the next thing I'm thinking, how am I going to share this with my students so they can share with their own students and teachers, right? That's the idea, because all these tools are replicable in different fields, and there are multiple uses of the same ideas. So yeah, I can't wait to, I guess, learn from your infographic experiences.
And I'm glad that you reminded me of infographic. I almost forgot that.
Good. I'm glad I refreshed your mind, because
Yes, thank you for that.
I did the same thing with I gave it the whole thing. I'm doing today, I'm at the college today, broadcasting from my office for the first time, because there's a corporate challenge going on in the School of Management. So they made me one of the advisors to a team of 5 students. And these 5 students, they were so, how can I say, talented in many ways, like they're going to be the future managers. But they had no idea about how they can present their data, how to collect it. First of all, how to collect data, how to analyze it, how to present it, and how to turn it into a mini book. So I showed them how to create a mini book. Let's see if I can find one quickly. Last time I showed you guys, I hope I did. Or do you remember I showed you something like this, mini book that I did? This is a conference I just presented in St. Louis last week. It's a 1-page PowerPoint slide, but you put one part is upside down, right? And then you cut the center and you turn it around. I have a template if you're interested. So what it shows is my title of presentation, my email and my name, right? Then I have a little abstract of what I'm going to talk about. I have a QR code goes to the PowerPoint links. I have some slides that's nice and colorful. I have a quote that, something for people to think about.
Good.
I put a little concept map about assessment. And then at the end, I'll give a survey and, a university logo and stuff like that. So this little mini book is, instead of giving someone pages and pages of PowerPoint slides, right? This is cute and simple. And it's only 1 page.
Yeah.
And it's QR coded, so they want to learn more about me, they can. So again, when I showed this to the students, they loved it and they create their own version, which I gave all the copies. Sorry about that, I don't have it now. Because they're
going to create one.
And I didn't know it comes with a special certificate of appreciation. So they said, oh, you're an advisor, and they're giving me, McGraw-Hill is giving them something. So last week was a very good week for me, because I got the research award. I got the, it comes with $1,000, by the way. Yeah, look, Veronica is celebrating with me. They did, hold on 1 second. Maybe it's time to brag a little bit. 1 second. They did make a video, which you will be seeing shortly. On the video, I will be one of the featured faculty. I published several articles. So it was a compilation of books the university puts together every year. It's called 16th Annual Faculty Scholars Recognition. So they gave us a nice reception in the mansion here in Old Westbury. And they also put you on the paperwork to showcase your work. They put a nice display. They put you in the booklet. They display your articles. These are some of the things I did last year, and my book last year, which has a second edition. It's called Global Media Literacy. So it's very exciting to share your research. In this case, in academia, we end up sharing our research in a peer-reviewed articles or a book format, right? Boring format. But it would be interesting if you can, oh, we're in the house now. Give us a little tour. Is that good looking? All right, Gina made it to a house.
It's not my house. It's my fiance's parents' house. I can't give you a tour.
I thought you were shopping for a house today, so okay, that's good. Anyway, again, infographic is, to me, is much fun way to share your ideas. All right, I am done talking and sharing and bragging, and but I can't wait to hear and read your projects and proposals and activities or questions. And one thing I tried to tell last Friday, on Wednesday, I tried to tell the students, if you want to do, let's say, professional development project, right? And you don't know where to start, and you need some partners to help you. We're here, all your faculty, and especially 24/7 for the rest of my life, as I promised you, I'm here. So let's say, Janet, next in the fall, you want to do something, right? So think about how you can start collecting these needs analysis, how you can turn it into some kind of a professional development workshop, and university will partner with you, meaning we can give you resources and help, as well as professional development credits. Let's say you say to your principal, I can bring my professors here and they can present with me, co-present with me, right? At the end, university has an eligibility to provide professional development PD hours that the schools may get it for free, right? So there are so many ways in which we can collaborate. So please put us in your circle of network, right? We professors are not just here to teach and give you grade and get you out of the system. We are part of the network so that we can learn and continue to make a difference one student at a time. With that note, I think I'm going to stop recording unless you have a question that we can address and share with the rest of the group. No, you guys good? Gina needs to spend time with the family. Janet has to attend his son who wants attention. I know my son does. And Veronica needs to find a way to get her voice out, right? Have a wonderful weekend. And
Thank you. You too.
please feel free to call my cell number anytime, 24/7, right?
Thank you. Sorry about the sound issues. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Be well.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.